we are going to start talking about this change that's happening here, about a new way of transacting here. And Misty, I'm going to go ahead and swap over to my presentation here. Let me know when you can see that. Do you have it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Without any further ado, a new way of working with Applied Software and GRAITEC Group. I want to talk to you about the way that we're doing this today. You know, you work with Applied GRAITEC. You come to us for all your software, your services, the solutions that you need to be successful. There's a single quote, and you transact all of that with GRAITEC today, as well as getting access to all of the additional services and capabilities, things like our digital innovation framework. You may also be using Bluebeam, or you may be using one of those power packs that I mentioned as well. Now, the change that's coming, and it's going to take place June 10th, is this transaction model. And I want to be very specific. It really is only about the transaction for Autodesk software. So you're still going to come to Applied GRAITEC the way that you've always been. We will furnish a quote. And what happens is there will be two transactions. One transaction that goes directly to Autodesk just for the Autodesk products and services that you need, and another one from Applied GRAITEC for Applied GRAITEC software and services. Okay, and this is going to happen June 10th. And so part of that, and the reason that you're here today, is to get set up so that after June 10th, you'll be able to work and transact within this new process here. And it's called setting up Autodesk to be a vendor, essentially, is what we're going to do. Okay, I want to talk to you about some of the common questions that we're seeing and we're hearing from our clients today. So, who does the client pay for invoices on orders prior to June 10th? Well, the answer is really simple. No changes are happening prior to that. You would still work and transact in a normal process, that first process that I showed you, up until June 10th when that change happens. Okay, it's after June 10th that this new way of transacting will actually take place. Okay. And by the way, that means too, if you are a current client and you have a 3-year contract with us, you'll still just make those payments until that contract is up. Okay, so if you're already on a 3-year contract, don't worry, this will not impact you immediately. However, we're asking everybody to get set up for this, because in the event that you do need maybe another seat of, say, an AutoCAD or a collection, that there's no slowdown to getting you access to that technology. So you'll want to get this set up. You'll want to make Autodesk a vendor today. How and where can I get support from GRAITEC if I have any issues? Listen, we're still your partner at the end of the day. We're still your first line of support. And so this is a little bit of a long URL here. I might ask Misty or Sherry to grab this and put it into the chat window. But this is a landing page right now on GRAITEC's website that you can submit questions. You'll find additional support and a lot of the things that I'm going to be walking you through next can be found right there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll put that into the chat so that you can grab that URL, or just go to the GRAITEC website and search for this model change. All right. So again, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that we're setting up Autodesk as a vendor within your procurement system. Okay. This is something that you have to do internally. And we actually have this document available within the webinar that you can download. I think of this as the one-stop shop for everything that you need. It's comprehensive and points out everything that you need in order to set up Autodesk as a vendor. And I'm going to walk you through kind of these basic steps right now. So I'm opening up this PDF right now. You'll see that it is, of course, it's 2 pages and it's just 7 steps. In fact, I appreciate just how simple this really is. Step 1, you're going to want to sign in to your Autodesk account. I'm going to assume that you're already an Autodesk client customer, so you probably already have one of these. If not, it'll step you through setting one up. So let me go ahead and click on this link, and it'll take me to that that login, that sign-in page on the Autodesk portal here. All right, so this is my personal account, Neal Niemic. This is the account that you would have essentially to doing that. I'm going to come in here and open up my document again. So really important too through these steps that you are logged in to your account. I'm going to repeat, you're going to want to make sure that you're logged in, and you'll see why in just a second here. Once you're logged in, access the vendor setup form. So I'm just going to go ahead and open a new link here to show you what those forms look like. All right, so this is on the Autodesk website. You'll see the setup Autodesk as a vendor access point here. And now we've got regional specific forms. These are the procurement forms that you need to get access to. In fact, I'm going to swap back to our little vendor setup guide here, and it says select your region from the list. Okay, pretty straightforward. Most of you, if not all of you, are North American. And we've got a number of different documents here. I want to point these out. There are some for obviously the US, and we do have Canadian equivalents for those as well. So the first one is the vendor form. I'm going to open that up and give you a sneak peek at what that looks like. All right, so it's general information over Autodesk here. Things like the corporate tax ID, Autodesk DUNS number, as well as some URLs to the company itself. Okay, pretty straightforward. I'm going to open up the W-9 form. I'm going to open this in a new tab. I'm just taking you on a tour to where these resources are right now. So here's the W-9 form. You can see it's got all of this populated with the appropriate Autodesk information that your procurement or finance team are going to want, right? So tax ID number is here, signature, all of this stuff basically lives on file. Now, the last one, and maybe the most important one, is the banking form. This has routing information so that when that transaction happens, it's going to be sent directly to Autodesk. I'm going to right-click and open the link in a new tab. And this is why you're going to want to be logged into your account, because it pre-populates this appropriately based on whether you're in the US or you're in Canada. It gives you the appropriate banking information here, okay? Just a little preview here. If I go back to the first form, you'll see that's not here, okay? This appears, this banking information appears when you are logged into your account. So make sure that you're logged into your account so you don't have any issues with that. All right, so let's go back to our form here. Download the pre-filled vendor forms, which I just showed you here. You're going to download those. The banking form, which I showed you, obviously making sure that you're logged into your account so that it populates with the appropriate information. So you're going to want to take those documents and give that to either finance or your procurement team so that they can set this up within whatever procurement system you're using. Now, you may get asked additional questions about additional documents. And that information is available on this page as well. So there's annual reports, there's an Autodesk Trust Center, Investor Center, software terms and use. Sometimes you might be asked for additional information that can be found here as well. Okay. So that is where you're going to find everything that you need to basically get the documents and start setting this up within your procurement system. Okay. Now, I know that our clients, we're big, we're small. We may be a small 3-person shop. We might be a 3,000-person enterprise. You may have different procurement systems, and how you set up the vendor in your procurement system could be different. I'm just going to let you know that there's a host of information, whether it's a QuickBooks vendor setup, whether it's Monday.com, whether it's SAP. You can find a lot of information on that on YouTube. Just search on that. I don't think that's going to be your responsibility if you're using a procurement team. They already know how to set this up. You just need to hand them that information. Okay. All right. So again, if you still need help, if you run into maybe there's a document there, maybe you have a question about terms and conditions, those kinds of things, this URL, which is the same one that I showed you earlier, is a great resource. You can log a case and send that to us at GRAITEC.com, and we will be more than happy to help you out and expedite that. But I will say, it's very important that you get Autodesk set up as a vendor today, irrelevant of June 10th, so that in the event that you do need to add a seat or add some more even tokens, that you're ready and can do that without any slowdown to your business and to your operations. So we're telling everybody, don't waste time, get this set up. Let us know if you need help, and we will assist you today. And with that, we will open it up to any questions that you might have.
We did have a question about getting that PDF, so I will go ahead and plug that right there on the screen. Let me add that. So to access that how-to guide, you can click that link right on the screen. It will take you directly to it. All right, what other questions do you guys have? You can go ahead and throw those in the chat. Myself, Neal, and Sherry are here to get those answered for you.
Yeah, hopefully you see how simple this process is. It really is a matter of grabbing the documents, giving it to anybody that's working within procurement to set up Autodesk as a vendor, and hopefully that's not that doesn't take you a lot of time to do.
All right. What if you are a one-person firm and don't use a bookkeeping software?
Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate the question there. Have you, I guess my question back would be, are you purchasing just using a credit card today? And the reason that I ask is if you are using a credit card, then you will not be impacted by that. Usually a credit card. Yeah, if you're a 1 or 2 person shop, then I know that that's typically the way that you purchase, and that won't impact you. Will the GRAITEC support be paid through Autodesk? No, that would be a transaction directly to GRAITEC, not to Autodesk.
All right. Rob says, what is the reason for Autodesk to go this route? Are they removing discounts from getting passed by vendors?
Rob, yeah, thank you for that question. So the short answer is yes. Past June 10th, partners will not be able to discount software anymore. In fact, one of the things that I'm advising clients and customers to think about is that 3-year termed contract that we can offer ahead of this change. You can lock in an aggressive price savings today and insulate whatever happens over the next 2-3 years. Okay, that's a really good point to bring up and a really good consideration.
All right. Next question. Autodesk doesn't replace GRAITEC in addition, question mark. Payments will still be transacted with both for the addition of seats.
Yeah, Jason, thanks for calling that out. Yeah, I will say that again. There are 2 transactions after June 10th, one for GRAITEC software and services and one directly to Autodesk for Autodesk software and products. Correct.
All right. Kent says, we are on a yearly contract. Our expiration date is end of February 2025. We use a company credit card for all transactions, question mark.
We use a company credit card for all transactions. I guess the question there is, will you be impacted? If you're still using credit card payments, then the answer is no. But what I would say there too is after June 10th, and then we see this happening all the time, people have interns or maybe they've got new contractors coming onto a project and they need that 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 seats. You will be in that zone where you'll want to transact directly. If you want to do that with a credit card, you can go ahead and do that. But I would still assure you or ask you to set up Autodesk as a vendor. I think it's a smart thing to do in the short term. Sherry, you came off of video. Did you want to add something?
Answer the next question.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Sandy, you were asking about your legacy discounts. All programs, licenses that have price protection, that would be those that moved from maintenance to subscription and those that were a network to named users. Those have price protection through May of 2028, and you will not be affected by any change that's going on as far as pricing, but you will be renewing or purchasing through this agency model as all of the licenses are.
All right. And next question is, after June 10th, we will receive separate invoices from GRAITEC and Autodesk?
That's correct. After June 10th, you'll have separate invoices. And let me just also add to that. One of the things that Applied Software and GRAITEC Group is doing to make this as simple as possible is we're going to have a portal available to you where all of that will be in one place, okay? So you won't have to worry about different places of going to making that transaction. We're going to make this as simple and easy for you even past June 10th. Yes.
All right. And Sandy says, how is payment made for 3-year agreements?
Yeah, Sandy, one of the most compelling things about, I think, the 3-year contract is that you can actually make annual installments. So it really is like locking in at a great price, great value today, and simply paying that on an annual basis for the term of that contract. Yeah, great question.
And I think, William, you had a question, but you just said at Sherry, so let us know what that question is. Sandy asked, is it interest-free?
Is it interest-free?
I think
believe it is interest-free.
Payments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And Rob says, if we have a yearly renewal due in September 2024, can I renew that and make it a 3-year renewal now?
So June, July, August, September, it's going to depend what day in September that your contract would expire or be up for renewal. But the short answer is yes, you can take advantage of that. We look at 90 days typically before renewal is up so that we can renew it within that time frame. That's what Autodesk allows. So Yes, absolutely, we can do that, and we advise that you take advantage of that. There's another question behind that, which is, what if I've got a yearly renewal in October or November? So one of the things that we've seen some clients do is they might buy one seat before June 10th, okay, which sets up a new contract, and then they will prorate or co-term what they've got out in, say, October, November, bringing that forward. And they're doing that to lock in, usually at a 3-year rate ahead of that June 10th time frame. So we're seeing a lot of people getting creative, or I'll say strategic, with how they're doing that renewal.
And William says, go ahead.
Can I extend my 3-year contract now for another 3 years? It is not due until 2026. Can I extend my 3-year contract now for another 3 years? You know, that one, William, I might advise, because there may be some other things there in terms of what you're licensing that maybe we can help to optimize. I would reach out to either your account rep or your customer success manager so that we could look at everything that you have on your account and see how we could do something to lock in for a long term. We have 2 more years on our current 3-year lock-in rate. Is there a way to extend that time period for an additional 1, 2, or 3 years? That's a great question. Sherry, I know you've had to deal with this a couple of times. What are your thoughts on that?
Hi. So again, if you were to buy a new license today or before June 3rd, actually, then we could use that. I call it as an anchor date. So that becomes a new contract date. And then we can extend the current contract that renews in 2026 or 25 to that new contract. But we would have to have a new license with the current date to extend anything past 90 days.
Similar to what I was saying, if you were to buy just a simple one seat, that allows us to be able to, as Sherry eloquently put it, anchor it and term that longer for you. Okay. These are great questions. I'm glad that you are thinking this way. In fact, I would say keep those questions coming. I would engage with your either your account rep or your CS at Applied GRAITEC, because some of these situations might be a little bit different. They might be a lot different. We want to make sure that you get locked in and get the most value you can before June 10th. Now, Sherry, you had mentioned June 3rd. I just want to make sure that people aren't hearing two different things here. Why June 3rd?
The reason I mentioned June 3rd is Autodesk has announced a blackout time, and that's going to be from June 3rd through the 10th. That means we will not be able to process any orders during that week. So even though the go live date for the agency model is on the 10th, we would not be able to process orders after June 3rd.
So all these questions about terms and locking in before the change happens on June 10th, June 3rd will be the last day that we can help you get in front of this, okay? But coming from the call today, I hope that you saw how easy it is to set up Autodesk as a vendor. Please take the action of doing that immediately. Let us know if you need help. We're more than happy to get on a one-on-one call with you, answer any questions. If you do have questions about your subscription, your contracts, and the impact to that and how we can help mitigate any issues there, or even locking in at a really good price and value, reach out to us. We were your partner before this. We're going to be your partner after this, and we're your partner through this. So appreciate everybody showing up. If you need any help, reach out to us. Let us know.